So I put this shirt on because it's a good autumn Halloween shirt. It's a blinking dress on me. This is what losing 100 pounds looks like, folks. Not to brag or anything, but I need a whole new freaking wardrobe and I can't afford one right now, so. Good autumn shirt. Maybe if I take it in the back. Anyway, glasses, at least the glasses, cover doesn't matter because, they'll always fit me, right? Right? Anyway, hi peeps. My name is Ducky. If you've been around for a minute, you know that. If you don't, I am Ducky, also known as Ducky Craft, also known as Don't Tread on Me, I Am a Duck over on TikTok. I do a lot of type 1 diabetes stuff over there and occasionally some religious rants or more my frustration with religious communities and their hypocrisy. Over here, we do Am I the Asshole? I'm a minute past, I can say that, type of posts, and sometimes we do some MLM shallow dives. I haven't done as many of those lately. I'm trying to figure out how to get around the MLM Huns who love to copyright strike freaking everything. They know who they are. And today we're going to be doing some wedding shaming. So I haven't been on here in a minute, so there's a whole bunch of brand new posts, and I was reading some of the titles, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to do a video. By the time you're viewing this video, it will be very near autumn, hence the autumn getup. The pink and black wig is just because I happen to really like it. It's comfortable. It has like little holes in the wig so that it's more breathable. It's awesome. Anyway, so I passed over this one and I went, what in the world? Like my face was total just jaw drop. So I'm going to tap on that. Learned that we were excluded from the wedding photos as a 10 plus years couple because we weren't married. My first thought was, oh no they didn't. That's just not right. Created a throwaway for this just to vent away from prying eyes. Understandable, especially if the family knows your account name. My brother got married early last month to his partner of 12 years. Good for them. At the time, it was a lovely day all around, and the bride and groom had the day of their dreams. Relevant to the title, they had both said for months that they'd lucked out with a great photographer who specialized in candid, real-life photos. So, aside from a couple of obligatory staged photographs, the photographer would just be roaming around the venue all day, taking snaps of the room and ambiance without people posing. I was in one of the staged photos. It was the bride and groom, myself, and the bride's brother. And that was it. I didn't really think too much about it otherwise, and to the photographer's credit, barely even noticed them for the rest of the day. All we heard about the photos in the weeks that followed was that the photographer had been caught up with a family emergency. Oh dear. So hadn't been able to edit and share the photos with the bride and groom, who in turn were planning on sharing these with the family. All my brother and his wife had posted online was one candid photo of them during the first dance that we assumed the photographer had been able to edit before the family emergency, and again, I didn't think too much about it. That was until yesterday. Unbeknownst to anyone at the wedding, apart from my partner, I am currently 13 weeks pregnant. Congratulations. By the time this comes out, you will be very pregnant. Sorry, gotta be real here. The bangs drive me nuts. There we go. I was around 6 weeks at the wedding, had no signs of showing, and thankfully could get away with not drinking anything alcoholic or dashing off to the toilet without anyone, except maybe my partner, of course, noticing. We met up with my parents and my brother and his wife yesterday evening to share the news with them all after the 12-week scan had confirmed everything was well with the pregnancy. There were a lovely couple of minutes of celebrations, and then my brother made a comment to the effect of, if only we'd known. His partner would actually have been, my partner and him would actually have been in the wedding photos. This was worded strangely. We asked what he meant by that, and he explained that they told a white lie about the photographer having an emergency, and they'd had the photos for weeks. Hadn't read this part. They had asked the photographer to ensure that my partner and any other non-married partners of family and friends had been edited out of the pictures, to ensure that there were no spare people in the images. Not to belabor the point, but for many reasons, my partner and I have never intended to get married. As is your right, as is your choice. Everyone in our life knows this, including my brother. I'm going to go back real quick. Oh, she mentions it again. No, we've been together for over a decade, own a house, and run a business together, and are now having a child together as well. My brother made sure to say that it was nothing personal, and that they'd done this with the partners of friends, and even an older aunt gentleman friend. They said they went along the thought process of if they wouldn't have been invited to the wedding directly, they didn't need to be in the pictures. I won't reiterate everything that was said after this, but we exchanged some words and left much earlier than we had intended. So yeah, even your own sibling might try and re-edit your life to get the picture-perfect photo. I'm going to go back to the beginning because she says something. My brother got married early last year to his partner of 12 years. That is literally the pot calling the kettle black. The hypocrisy. Like, what the heck, man? So now we're going to go through and read the top 3 comments. I do have top comments here, so these are the ones that have been voted on the most. Flipping Possum. Love that username. That was absolutely personal. If they don't consider your partner family by now, I wouldn't give them family privileges either. Right? Absolutely. Oh, and she gives a suggestion for a text. That was absolutely personal. I am sad that we are not part of your chosen family. Agreed. Then the next comments. Yeah, I understand having pictures without the unmarried partners if they wanted to, but I do not understand editing people out. That makes no sense. Just take additional photos without them. Yeah, I agree. Like, that's absolutely, that's just petty. That's mean girl petty. I had been dating my husband 1 month when I was his date for his sister's wedding. My biggest fear was being in wedding photos with my mom, which my mom told me was psychotic to even consider, because WTF would the 1 month long girlfriend be in the photos? Well, fair. Well, chat, I was in the photos. Later, when I talked about it with my partner, how mortified I was, because what if we break up? He was like, no one cares. We can edit you out later, or we'll have a funny story to tell people. That's fair. That is fair. Oh, here's, I'm in Australia, and I'm not even sure which couples I know are married. That's where I'm at. It's not even you ask how long have you been married, it's how long have you been together. Welcome to 2025. Or maybe by the time you're seeing this, 2026, but this is filmed in 2025. I tend to assume the older straight ones are, but the rest, I'd have to ask. I'm pretty sure one friend is married. His wife seems like the sort that really wants a legally binding contract with no ambiguity. But I have a few more who were very definitely, weddings are something other people do. I kind of agree with that. Weddings are expensive and ultimately kind of dumb. Admittedly, our legal system doesn't distinguish to any real extent. You're considered married when you live together, share finances, or complete the civil wedding ceremony, which is what I'm down for. Or if you're on unemployment benefits, health benefits, etc., you're married as soon as you have a romantic interest. That way they can cut your benefit based on the income of your partner. Because, of course they do. And that sounds very American. I thought Australia was ahead of us. I'm going to read this last one. I'm in Australia, my partner of nearly 7 years and I are not legally married because I'm on a bridging visa. For legal reasons, we can't be married. We also can't use any assistance services because that might also jeopardize my visa. Ain't things grand? Despite this, and the fact that I call my partner and not my husband, it doesn't seem to matter as much here as it did when I was in the United States. We're just together. I couldn't really tell you who's married and who isn't either. It isn't important here socially, which really that's how it should be, in my opinion. Allegedly and in my opinion. See, it looks like there's like a weird piece of hair there, but I know it's the color of the wig. Anyway. And then there was one more that I had seen that I was like, I'm sorry, what now? This was put down as tacky. Bridal shower guests paid for their own food and drink at a fancy restaurant. Okay, and I've heard other horror stories like this, so I was invited to a bridal shower at a very nice restaurant about a month ago. The food was good. We could choose anything we wanted from the menu, and alcohol was available. As the afternoon wore on, I realized I and all the other guests were responsible for paying their own bill. My light lunch was $50, plus I gave a gift to the bride. There was no indication that this was expected when the invitation went out. That's what would bother me. Because I have been invited to weddings and bridal showers where they say but in the invitation it's made clear you are responsible for paying your own way. And that's fine if it's made clear up front. If I'm going in thinking somebody else is paying for it or that it's covered, it's not mentioned if it was like a pre-selected menu or if she said you could choose anything you wanted, so it's probably not a pre-selected menu. But I have been to one where it was a pre-selected menu and we were expected to pay. I was not happy about that. I didn't mind having to pay. I minded the pre-selected menu because if I remember right, there was very, very little that I could actually eat. Hi, I have a lot of allergies, as most Americans do, I think, actually. not to be like, I'm not even abnormal, but I'm not even abnormal. So the first response is, they told you that you could order anything you wanted with your own money, right? I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. I got an inch. There we go. It could have been worse. There could have been a set menu. Could have been a set menu that the guests only found out about after they had paid the $50 for. That would have me really annoyed. This happened to me once at a baby shower. Really nice restaurant. It was a fixed menu. The organizer had pre-ordered food. My husband and I paid $150, $75 each, for some fruit and bacon. It was breakfast, and I'm not a huge breakfast person. Neither am I. I would be beyond annoyed about that. Ooh, we got another one, very similar. My cousin's third wedding was like that. The reception was in the private room in the back of a Denny's, and guests were refused menus and told the couple had chosen the food for their event. Hi, a lot of allergies here. That would really make me mad. Wow. After they ate, each guest was given a bill to pay with extra gratuity added for using the private room. OMG. That is terrible. Okay, OP does give a clarification here. Is what I mean is that there were no restrictions or exceptions to the menu. It was simply handed out as a normal dining guest, no special menu with chosen items. Okay, so it was anything from their original menu, which is fair. That's because you were a normal dining guest, apparently. Yeah, right? So that one just... What the heck? And let's just go down here and find another one real quick. I read that really fast. We'll do this one and then call it happy. If you're still with me, I forgot to get house cleaning out of the way. If you're still with me, let's get house cleaning out of the way. Wow, it's a day. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I see a lot of views, but my subscriber count isn't going up. Now, that doesn't mean much. It could be just all subscribers that are watching, of course. But subscribe, comment. Everything gets me into the good graces of the algorithm gods, and let's do that. So, okay, house cleaning out of the way. Turn back on phone. Here we go. Oh, it's short. At the wedding, the groom said the bride wasn't his physical type. I mean, he might have been thinking they're more attracted to each other on an intellectual level, maybe? I don't know. Let's read it. We were at a very small wedding where the groom was speaking, and he happened to mention that his new bride wasn't his physical type. People around us started whispering, and even I thought I had misheard. I couldn't believe it. My boyfriend thought the guy was just so nervous, he started saying unfiltered comments that should have just stayed in his brain. That's a total diarrhea of the mouth moment. Oh, wow. My ex-husband used to tell me several times I was not his type. Well, there's a reason it's an ex. I'm going to say that was a marriage dissolved justifiably. Got a little story. I was at a wedding once where the bride's maid of honor held her toast for the bride and groom and said, "We all know she and him are not the most attractive people, but they found each other and we should be happy for them." The audience gasped. I can imagine. Wow. The bride looked like she was going to cry. I guess she was holding back her tears as best she could, and he was holding her hand and staring hard at the bridesmaid. That's a bridesmaid who we're not going to have any contact with after this wedding. The bridesmaid was just stupid. Not even evil, but I had it with her and never talked to her again, right? No contact, bye. The couple is still married 15 years after and have 2 beautiful kids because they have beautiful parents. Different, but still beautiful. Really hammering that beautiful in. Edit. No, I don't think the bride and groom are ugly. And when I say they are different, I don't want to say what, but I think of a certain style because I don't want to hurt anyone reading this post. I don't speak English. I'm Norwegian. So it's a bit difficult to use exactly the right words. If I thought they were ugly, I would have kept it for myself. Forever. No one is ugly. Nice people are always pretty. That's my opinion. I mean, I don't... Oh, okay, this is another response. I mean, I don't know how many people who genuinely love you who would stand up and publicly say that you are ugly. Right? But at least you found someone. What? So, hey, people should be happy because people need telling to do that? I don't think you can chalk it down to stupidity. It sounds like she was using the speech to turn the attention to herself and bring the bride down a peg or two on her wedding day because she was jealous of all the attention the bride was getting. Might be on the nose. That might be hitting the nail on the head. I think you're going to have to accept that sometimes people are just petty and jealous. Agreed. I want to see. Okay, I want to see if... so the original person had responded back to this. Now that I read this, I think you might be right. It's one of those where they were giving the person the benefit of the doubt, but then they also went no contact. So, because she was in charge of the bachelorette party and was toastmaster at the wedding too. I forgot the huge role this woman played in her friend's wedding. I also remember I asked her to cool down a bit at the bachelorette party too. It's so sad to think about what she did to this nice couple at their wedding. Thank you for pointing this out to me. It has made me a bit wiser. Wow. Oh, and then there's a picture of... I won't show the picture. That might be fun to read. It's short. But anyway, the picture I just saw is, can you guess which one's the bride? And no, you can't really tell because dear Aunt so-and-so wore a dress almost exactly like the bride's. Coming from someone who has worn white to a wedding... I did it because I was going full white goth, but it was in a phase, okay? That I haven't entirely gotten out of. But my dress was nothing like the bride's dress. Like, even the bride commented on it, and it was like, you don't look like the bride. And I think I had, like, pastel pink accents for anyone who's like, you don't wear white to a wedding. Well, I will. But it's a style that I'm choosing to do. And if I'm in the bridal party, I better not be in white. Just saying, that's a... to the one friend who's like, you're in my bridal party. You put me in white, we gonna have talk. Bride insisted on matching bridesmaid and wedding guests, so my take was far from flattering. So I recently attended my cousin's wedding, and let me tell you, I was not prepared for the fashion world disaster that unfolded. Isn't it that way often? Bride's brilliant idea. Everyone, bridesmaids and regular guests, oh God, must wear the exact same salmon dress. And the regular... What? Bridesmaids got the blessed privilege of looking like a stage curtain. Guess we were stuck in itchy polyester. I can't wear that. I will break out so badly. Polyester and I do not get along. That felt like it was glued to your skin. It was 90 degrees Fahrenheit outside, humidity level Florida dew point. So meaning between 90 and 100% humidity. I think the blinking of my eyes tells you what I think of that bride. That's a bride that I would no longer be in contact with. I wouldn't go. That's a bride that's out of control. Absolutely out of control. Expectations of rings, bachelorette parties, showers, dress codes, money the guests must fork over. Social media has turned what used to be a fun celebration to attend into a 1,000 plus combined week of time circus. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, I gotta read this story, it's funny. My sister is going to a trophy wife wedding, 30-year-old bride, where the total is $1,000 per night. And there are multiple events with a designated color palette. Please friends and family that watch these and know me in person, oh hell no. Cool, glad we're on the same page. My wedding isn't going to be frugal, but it's going to cost her more to attend this wedding than it is to be my bridesmaid. Okay, I get what she's saying. It's going to cost her more to attend this wedding than it is to be my bridesmaid. Got it. This is probably why people keep asking me what I want to wear, and we're still 14 months out. Oh my. Yikes city. Totally feel you. My wedding was not DIY or frugal, but also in my means, so I wasn't asking guests to pay for ridiculous shit I wanted but couldn't afford. Who asks their guests? You're the bride. You pay for everything. This is a party for you. You pay for it. Am I old-fashioned? Let me know in the comments. Like, just put old-fashioned or a kitty cat. You know, whatever. Moving on. If you want me to wear a stupid salmon dress to your wedding, fine. I'll send you my size and address and wait for my uniform you're buying in the mail. Agreed. Oh, and it can't be polyester because, hi, some of us have seborrheic dermatitis and we will have an allergic reaction. Good times. The idea of someone wanting to be there for me at my wedding but stressing about money to attend or having to opt out honestly makes me so sad. Yeah. Like, if I really want somebody there and they say, I just can't afford it, I'm going to pay for them to come. I will find a way for them to come. I want them there. Okay, so this has been a video on the horrors of weddings and why I will never have a big one. If I ever have one. I think I'll just do it like my grandma did and on the courthouse steps. She had the right idea. Anyway, if you are still with me, thank you so much for hanging out. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. My wig is... Get out of my way. And I'm going to get out of this badly oversized. Yeah, honestly, it's long enough on me, I probably could just turn it into a micro dress. Getting ideas. Anyway, thank you for hanging out. And I post every Tuesday. And I will see y'all later. Later, peeps.